people. Life is good. Let's go. What's going on? You're an early adopter. I'm an early adopter. We're all early adopters in this class. And token airdrop, baby. I got good news. My guy Jungle. What's going on? What happened? Who's throwing shade on my guy Jungle Lee? What's going on with that? What I heard was live crypto saying that. So what's going on? This flare thing, what's going on? We're gonna get into that. People reading way too much into that jingle thing. Way too much. We're gonna cover that. Clear it up. Hugo. guys gotta give Hugo a break. Come on. Spaces. I had some concerns. I addressed it. Hugo showed up. Life is good. Hey Shannon, how are you? Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. You know, Shannon can be dude, guy. I want to make sure, dude or girl, I want to make sure life is good right now. Celsius Network court approval for the FLR airdrop. We are going to talk about that. By the way, that had to be made. People had to come together to make that happen. Smart contract wasn't going to make that happen. I heard somebody on crypto Twitter talking about it's the contract. Hugo had nothing to do with it. Are you out of your mind? You have lost it if you think that Hugo had nothing to do with the FLR token airdrop. I love it, Shannon. Just like Shannon Sharp. Appreciate you being here, dude. Appreciate you being here. So, Nicholas M, what's good, my friend? At work, listen so I can pack more crypto bags. I hear you, my guy. Be careful at the JOB, bro. Be careful. I appreciate you checking in for sure. What do you mean Hugo didn't have anything to do about it? Did you not read the court document from Celsius Network law firm, from his attorneys at Kirkland & Ellis? Of course he had something to do with it. You can't come to an agreement with just one person. You can't come to an agreement with just one. You got to have two parties involved to come to an agreement. Hugo was on the other end of the agreement. But it happened. Got approved. We'll talk about that as well. I don't even know what's going on with the markets, Nicholas. What's going on with the market? I haven't even checked. Let me stop sharing here. I haven't even checked what's going on with the market. I don't know. I know that the market is doing what the market does. That I can tell you for sure. 22,757, is that accurate? Let's refresh that, see if that's accurate. It is accurate. Okay. Okay, there it is. That's the market. Nothing great. Nothing great. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button on the way in. Yeah, court grants approval to Celsius XRP holders to receive the FLR tokens, baby. That is outstanding news. And hopefully we'll be able to get those and take them off and wrap them as soon as possible. No timelines. I haven't heard anything yet on terms of timelines. It's not a big deal in the Celsius community because the vast majority of people in Celsius are Bitcoin hodlers, Bitcoin and ETH, not XRP per se. But yeah, great news for those of us like myself. Where's my thing at? who use Celsius for the Flare token airdrop. So it looks like we're going to be giving those. And it's a win-win situation because we're going to roughly 250 million Flare tokens, approximately 250 million, according to the court document. And then Celsius Network, which means the Celsius Network bankruptcy estate, is going to receive 150 million. So you're welcome, Otis. You're welcome. You're welcome, cryptosexual. Don't get me started on that gang over there. Paul Bogle, what's going on, my guy? Good to see you. Good to see you in this chat, my friend. So yeah, that's some interesting stuff. Where is it? Hugo put something out. I think I saved it, but I'm not sure. So let me just go to his page. The guy's got a unique name, so it'll probably come up real quick. Here it is right here. Let me share this with you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each and every one of you. You know what? Let me do this. Before I do that, we'll share this with you guys. Let me get this. Let everyone know that we're live, man. Let's get into it. Let's go to Twitter. I'm going to add something to the title here, too. I'm going to add a little bit. Throw a little something in there on Twitter. Let people know that the Crypto Seed is live. Do me a favor and share the stream out if you don't mind. I'd appreciate it. But most important, I would love for you guys to just hit that like button so we can let those people hanging out on YouTube know about the channel. What's good? What's good, the real Big Will? Love it. Love it. Appreciate you being here. What's up? Says Passionate Rick from San Cristobal, Mexico. I love it. Passionate Rick, are you? I love it. Do you hang out there? You live there, or are you visiting? Yeah, I'm hearing on, this is crypto Twitter, so we got to take that with a grain of salt. I'm hearing on crypto Twitter that people are attacking Jungling. What's going on with that? What's going on with that? Who's attacking Jungling? Who is attacking Jungle? I want to know. I'm not attacking Jungle. Who's attacking Jungle? I want to know. Craziness. We're going to go over the market for sure. We'll cover the market, but I'm going to really cover this news with the Flare token airdrop. I think it's important. I know a lot of you guys in the channel, friends and fam of the channel, have been wanting to hear the good words, and that's good. Oh, you live there. Love it. Nice, Passionate Rick. Love that. I love it. So this, I shared with you guys a couple of weeks ago that it was a court document, a motion submitted to the Celsius Network Chapter 11 Bankruptcy Court. A motion was submitted in which Kirkland and Ellis, Celsius Network's law firm, said that they were privy, they had access to an agreement between Celsius Network and Flare Network. And in this agreement, if Celsius Network would get the Flare tokens, which was approximately 250 million Flare tokens, to the eligible XRP account holders, then Celsius Network would receive from the Flare grant program. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It's a thing. Flare grant program. Well, you probably know what it is, considering all the madness that's going on around these FTSOs. And by the way, let me just put this out there. Give Hugo a break already. My goodness. Have you ever been a CEO? Do you know what it's like to be a CEO, a founder? Do you know what it's like? Can you give the dude is a new CEO? He's not an OG corporate officer like Brad Garlinghouse or Chris Larson. He's a new CEO. And he is not some dude hanging out in the basement coding. He's not a developer, eating bonbons and playing video. He's a new CEO. New. Like 2 years, like new. Like, can you give him a break already? Why is it that we're expecting him to get everything right? I mean, that's nonsense to expect this dude to get. The dude is a new CEO. He's new. What are you supposed to get it right every time? Tell me about the CEO right out of the gate that got it right every single time. This is a new project. The dude is new. He's figuring things out. And here's the thing, I challenge you, in your own headspace, are you coming from a place of believing or not believing? Trusting more appropriately or or not trusting? That's going to frame everything else. If you're coming from a framework of not trusting, then everything is going to come out. You're gonna question it. And if you come from the framework of mindset of trusting, then it's a different thing. Like my guy says, trust but verify. Trust but verify. I was on, what's going on, Legendary? Good to see you, my friend. I was invited to a Twitter Spaces a couple of days ago. I think like on a Friday or a Saturday. I got an invite to Mickey B. Fresh Twitter Space, right? I thought it was going to be on a Sunday. When I looked into it further, it wasn't going to actually happen until Monday. So I got this invite, waiting for the scene to come. And Jungle Inc. does a video. I always watch all of Jungle Inc.'s video. And he showed some concern. He expressed some concerns around the F asset system, the F asset part of the ecosystem. Said he was in some kind of Discord or whatever, and Hugo was in this Discord. And his understanding, oh, I know not Mickey B. Oh, I don't know who's attacking. So you're saying the FLR community crypto channel is attacking Jungle Inc.? Really? That's interesting. So, thank you for being here, Michael, too. I appreciate the feedback, bro. So I'm listening to Jungle Inc.'s video, and he's talking about, this thing and this thing and this thing. He said he's not going to be talking about FLR. I'm done. The dude was like, look, I'm done with FLR. I'm not going to be promoting them any longer. I'm done. Let's see how it goes. Right. So he mentioned that he was on this Discord, and you can watch the video for yourself. He's on this Discord, and Hugo had intimated, and in his impression, Hugo had intimated that the F asset system may or may not be built by FLR. That it may be, someone else building or some DApp thing or something like that. Right. Now, right. And so he was like, wait a minute, he's saying to himself, well, hold on a second. And by the way, in the video, he said when he got the opportunity, he was going to ask Hugo to clear it up. He was going to ask when he got the opportunity, he was going to clear it up and ask Hugo, right? And by the way, Jungle ended up hopping onto the thing after I did. I think he hopped on right after I asked my question to Mickey B. Fresh. I asked my question to Mickey B. Fresh. I'll tell you about that later. Anyway, so he's like, I'm going to, And so when I heard Jungle's video, I was like, the F asset system is not going to be done on the FLR thing. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Right. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm thinking about Jungle. I'm like, Jungle's a smart guy, right? He said he was on the Discord. I have no reason he's not going to be just lying about it. Jungle's not going to be lying about something, right? He's not going to just lie. So I'm like, okay, well, Mickey B. Fresh is a good person to ask. I just got an invite a day or so ago from Mickey B. Fresh to talk. They were going to talk about the FIP01. So I'm like, cool. When I get a chance, I'm going to raise my hand and ask the question, right? So, I'm hearing, I said some scuttlebutt, some rumor on the street, how crypto Twitter is, whatever. there's something kind of going around in the community that FLR is not going to be doing the F asset, or that maybe some other D app will be doing it or something like that. I asked a question in the freaking Twitter spaces, And so after I'm done talking, next thing you know, I hear Hugo answering the question. Like Hugo said something like, as a CEO, I can't say or not say things, for regulatory purposes. I'm like, wow. Okay. So some other people started talking, asking questions. And when I finally got a chance to speak again, I said, well, first of all, you got to apologize. I didn't realize you were going to be on the spaces, or else I would have asked you directly. I didn't know it was going to be on there. I thought it was Mickey B's deal, right? I would have asked you directly. And he said, listen, no worries. And I'm paraphrasing. He essentially said, as a CEO of a blockchain, there are things that you have to be careful in saying to the public, right? For regulatory reasons, right? Now, I've heard him say this once before, and I think he said it when he had on Thinking Crypto. I think he said it when he was on the Thinking Crypto channel with Tony, and he said that kind of same thing again, right? So I think this is how Hugo was trying to communicate in the Discord, where, you can't, as a CEO, you can't be putting out stuff for regulatory reasons, right? You can't be putting out stuff. But Jungle took it as, wait a minute, right? I can't speak for Jungle, but I could see his brain. His brain is like, wait a minute, right? Right. So you got all the stuff in the back of your brain. Postpone airdrop, right? Postpone airdrop, whatever, change the FLR, right? He's got all this stuff in his brain. Like, wait a minute, I'm not telling you what Jungle was thinking. I'm just saying what I think Jungle was thinking. I'm not telling you what Jungle was thinking. I'm telling you what I think Jungle was thinking. So he's thinking, wait a minute, another thing that you said was going to happen is not going to happen. Right? So he hears that, reads it on Discord, however the Discord thing works. He gets on the channel and he shares his concerns, not realizing where Hugo is coming from from his lawyers and this whole regulatory front that he has to deal with US investors, right? Guess what the regulatory front he's having to deal with comes from? The SEC. It's not coming from Switzerland, where they're based, I don't think. I think it's more coming from the US, right? And so that's what Hugo was saying, because he said it again in the Twitter spaces. So he says he can't say for some reason, he can't really say this is what they're going to do. Like, he can't say we're going to build this thing. He can't say definitively we're going to build this thing, or definitively we're going to build that. Right? That's what I got from the Thinking Crypto. Now, I totally forgot about the Thinking Crypto interview where he said such a thing. Right? And so right? So that's kind of my thing. And I'll get to the chat. I'll get to the chat in a second, right? So that was kind of my thing. So think about it for a second. Jungle hears something. Think about it. Jungle hears something, reads something in Discord. He gets to YouTube. I listen to Jungle. I listen to Jungle all the time, right? I hear that and I'm like, wait, whoa, huh? What? I'm on the Twitter spaces. I address it on Twitter spaces. Right? And I had totally forgot the whole CEO thing. I heard it once. Maybe Jungle hasn't heard that. Maybe Jungle has not heard, from where Hugo sits and the things he can and cannot say. So that's perhaps was maybe why there was a maybe. There wasn't, kind of like a maybe if thing when it comes to the F asset system. But it got cleared up in the Twitter spaces, and Jungle got a chance to hear that. Right? And so that's just why I say a couple of things. You got to give Hugo a break. he is new to being a CEO. It's not easy being a CEO. And then you're in the CEO. He said he's the CEO of a blockchain. Just think about that. You're a CEO in this space. So you got to be careful what you say because the regulators will come after you and try to shut you down. Right? We should be familiar with that. We should be familiar with that. Didn't the SEC go after Chris and Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse? Didn't they do that? Didn't they do it based upon what they said? They talked about things they said at the Swell conference, at previous Swell conferences. They tried to use that in the lawsuit. Went to their media pages and their website and took stuff that was on those sites and tried to use it against them. So this is the kind of thing that Hugo is having to deal with from a regulatory standpoint. And so part of me understands the trust issues because of the proposals being, the airdrop being canceled, postponed, canceled, postponed, all that stuff. And then you hear, and then the airdrop thing gets changed, the distribution's changed, right? So you got all these proposals, all these airdrops canceled, and then they change the distribution model, right? So that's a bunch of stuff haven't been changed. So I could see how easily it could be in Jungle's mind that, well, this is another thing that they're changing. What do you mean you're not going to have the FSS system, right? I could see him kind of thinking like that. I didn't speak with him. I don't know what he was thinking, but I could see him kind of thinking that way. I could see him kind of thinking that way. So, right. And so when I heard the way Jungle said it, he's like this, maybe we'll do it. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. So I'm like, I'm going to ask Mickey B. Fresh. I didn't know Hugo was going to be on the Twitter Spaces. I didn't know. I would have just waited until Hugo hopped on. He wasn't on in the beginning. So I asked the question to Mickey B. Fresh. Mickey B. Fresh answered it. And then next thing you know, Hugo, finished it, kind of chimed in. And so again, I said, I apologize. I should have asked you directly. I didn't know you were going to be in here, or else I would have, and I would have. If I would have known you'd been there, I would ask him, not Mickey B. Fresh. And he just said that, because he essentially said, look, as a CEO, there's just things I'm just putting it down in layman's terms. As a CEO of blockchain, it's just things I can't say or guarantee or come across as guaranteeing or any of that kind of stuff. And as XRP holders, if there's any community that should understand that, it's this community. So that's where he's coming from. So that's why I say you got to give the guy a break as a CEO. He's learning the ropes about the CEO and communicating, effectively communicating. He's a young CEO. It's not easy. And so we just, this is why Mickey B. Fresh does a lot of educational content around FLR and Songbird, just kind of educate people for sure. And, I trust that Hugo will figure stuff out. Right now he's trying to do this massive launching, right? And but he'll figure things out. He'll get better at things, right? But he's got to walk this rope, it's regulatory tightrope, if you will. And I completely forgot about that. Again, I completely forgot. So, but the reason why Hugo was able to address that concern is because there was a Twitter Spaces being held. Right. And the more open communication that we have, the more, the better educated we can be about this stuff. So let me get to the thing here. What does it say? Michael O2 said the FLR community crypto channel is attacking Jungle, not Mickey B. Legendary says FLR community isn't attacking Jungle. He's just trying to get the truth out. Passionate Rick says, I thought the FLR community channel did a good job fielding Jungle's concerns. How did he do that? Just by a video? He did a great job, Rick. Paul Bogo, Oz Crypto has a point, too much dumping with these providers. I don't have a problem with what the FTSOs did. For me, it won't matter if it's a day or the day of it. They're going to sell. they're going to sell. If they're selling to, I didn't feel dumped on. I have this whole dumped on thing. I don't get it. People got to do what they got to do. Right? When you sell, are you worried about everybody else worrying that you're dumping on them? Remember, if you sell, somebody's got to be buying, and probably someone's holding that thing that you're selling. Are you concerned about being tagged as someone who's dumping on the community? So I really don't get that. But Nicholas says building an NFT game currently is like stepping on eggshells in the US. Yeah. I agree, Legendary. Providers are compensated for their work in FLR. They can do what they want with their FLR. The only thing I didn't like was that BitTrue opened up deposits of FLR early, allowing them selling IOUs. BitTrue did do that. And that was, yeah, I'm not sure what BitTrue was thinking. What were they thinking? Right, so BitTrue has always been open to buy or sell FLR IOUs. That is correct, Michael O2. But it was just IOUs, right? What's going on, Billionaire H? Not actual FLR. It was just IOUs. Yeah, exactly, Lemire. So, I think that's what it was. It was the jungle's concern, right? I don't think. Now, listen. As far as the FIP01 and all that kind of stuff like that, again, for me. I recognize what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a young CEO in Hugo. He's young in the game of being a CEO. He's just not going to get it right. He's just not going to get everything right. Just not. It's impossible. David Schwartz talked about on Twitter Spaces how they screwed the XRP community. Those are his words. How they screwed the community in the early days. Like, you're just not going to get it right. Just not. You're not going to get it right every single time. Just not. For me, I would just say, well, be appreciative of where we are and what we have. Right. Think about if everyone got it right. You do realize if everyone got it right, where it would be? We'd be 100 years down the road from now. We wouldn't be early. That's when they get everything right, 100 years from now. Not when we're early. When we're early, people are going to mess up. You know what I mean? People are going to screw some stuff up. So that's kind of how I see that thing. So I heard on Crypto Twitter that people are attacking Jungle. So I hope that's not the case. I hope people aren't attacking Jungle. He expressed some concerns. Paul Bogle says, I wouldn't be locked out of Celsius. Yeah. You did hear the good news, right, Paul Bogle? You heard that good news about the FLR token airdrops, did you not? Yeah, baby. Let me share that now with you guys. I went on a rant there. Goodness gracious. I think this is again, this is another interesting thing. And I said this on the Twitter Spaces yesterday to make it be fresh and the people listening in. To me, this FLR grant thing was something that they did FLR Network did not have to do. They didn't have to do it, Paul Bogo. They didn't have to. They could have said, well, it's out of our control. Celsius is not communicated. They're in the midst of a Chapter 11 and they're kind of busy. And I think we're going to he said that they were going to just burn the tokens. That wouldn't have done me any good. Would it have done anyone else? The XRP hold on Celsius any good? That wouldn't have done us any good. So Hugo says this: when we started talking to Celsius, their lawyers' initial requirement was for the FLR token to go into the general asset pools to be distributed across all claimants. The airdrop tokens to be distributed amongst all the airdrop tokens to be distributed across all claimants. I don't even know what that means. I push back hard against that. So I believe Hugo's saying that they wanted the FLR tokens to go into the pool with the other assets that are going to take a 50 to 60% cut in their, or whatever assets, and FLR will be part of it. I push back hard against that. This is a huge win for the intended recipient. So that is what it is. And of course, the Celsius lawyers are going to say that they need more assets coming in because they're short on assets. So of course, the lawyers are going to say that. So apparently they worked out a deal. Crypto lender Celsius wins court approval for customer withdrawals FLR tokens. The U.S. Bankruptcy Court authorized eligible XRP holders to receive the FLR tokens due under a prior agreement. I mean, CoinDesk kind of got it, but I mean, kind of not. But there it is there. You guys, you saw me when I read if you didn't do it, you can check out my videos where I read the court submitted document from Kirkland & Ellis, which is the Celsius attorneys. And that what they stated was that they were privy to an agreement between themselves and FLR Networks in reference to this token airdrop. They explained their reasons for why they thought it should be done, blah, 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 why people should not be opposed to it, blah, 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 and all sorts of kind of stuff like that. And the judge took about half a second and approved it. Right? So, because the first thing I'm sure the judge saw when he read over the motion was the estate was going to get 150 million FLR tokens. Just like our guy Deep Mind says, that's a ka-ching, right? And these things in terms of distribution, a lot of times this stuff can take years. And it doesn't matter. In a chapter 11, whatever comes into the estate, if something comes into the estate 5-10 years from now, that gets distributed amongst the unsecured creditors. So the 250 million roughly will go to the XRP holders only. But if Celsius gets those FLR tokens to the holders, then the grant program, FLR Networks issued them a FLR grant through the FLR grant program of 150 million FLR tokens. That can be, of significant value some point down the line to the people that were harmed in this Chapter 11 bank. Like, it's not going to Alex Mashinsky, right? It's going to the estate, right? It ain't going to Alex Mashinsky, it's going to the estate. And it may be 4 cents now, but who knows what's going to be 3 years from now, right? So that is the word on the street. Very, 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 very excited about that. What else did I want to share with you guys? So I hope we cleared that up. I hope we cleared that whole thing up with Jungle. Here it is here, Celsius motion scorecard, post-petition transfers, motions granted, motion to credit FLR tokens, the debtor's motion for entry of an order authorizing the debtors to credit FLR tokens to eligible account holders, motion granted. So there it is there. I wanted to share that with you guys. I think Jesse is out of bounds there, but Just Waza is on it. I think no matter what it is, bad actors will take advantage of at any stage at any time. Nothing is immune. Nothing. Should the CEOs foresee everything? That's impossible. Do CEOs make bad choices? Yes, of course they do, and they are held accountable. That's the life of a CEO. Again, it's a young CEO. Jesse Hines said a couple of things that for me, I don't know where he's trying to get, what point he's trying to prove. It doesn't matter in the end. Do you want to just sting the win or not win is my thing. Do you want it to win or not? All right, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And I think we all want it to win. FTOs on FLR received a grant for their work in providing data to the network for the months leading up to the TD. This was a useful job as it allowed the network to have activity and to run tests on certain aspects. Providing this data in a reliable way requires the operation of a node and, of course, an FTSO algorithm. This is not an inconsiderable expense, as there was no network-based compensations for this work. The FTOs were given a grant to cover their costs. The grant was sent out to the FTOs the day prior to the TDE. Principally, this timing occurred because we would be immensely busy around TDE and sending transactions to 80 FTOs in a time-consuming process from our side. We did not want this grant to come days or weeks after. So again, you know, when I heard, you know, I'm watching some videos and I'm hearing some language that suggests that FLR wanted the FTOs to win ahead of the community. And I just, for me, that doesn't make sense, right? If you're a coach of a football team and you got people who start and you got people who back up the starters, you don't want the starters to win and sacrifice the people who aren't starting, right? Because if it hurts the backups, it hurts the starters. It's the same, right? It's the same team. And we're on the same team here. So I don't think there was, it makes no sense for the CEO to want a certain group to win at the detriment of another group that's on the same team, right? I had this happen in my business life as well. Same kind of thing happened in my business life. It's a very, very strange and odd situation. But in the end, I had to tell the people that I couldn't do what they wanted to do. I couldn't do that because that would be hurting members of the same team. So I couldn't do it, even though what they wanted to do would benefit me personally. It didn't make sense to the greater team. It would hurt the greater team, right? So I don't see how Hugo or the CEO or people from FLR would want the FTSOs to win, you know, and have the rest of the community not win. It doesn't make sense for as the bigger picture. That would not make sense, right? Alex Hughes is in the building. What's going on, bro? Quantum Freedom is in the building. What's going on? Very true. Hugo did good. He did make that happen, by the way. Make that happen. People aren't going to say anything about that. They're not going to give Hugo any credit, besides me, any credit for making that happen. He made that happen. Michael Marchese, what's good, bro? Yeah, something was wrong. He made a mistake in distributing it early. He should have distributed the Quantum Freedom the same day as everyone else. He made a mistake. But it wasn't because they were plotting and scheming together, himself and FTSOs, to, hey, let's dump on the community. That just doesn't make sense. He made a mistake. He said he was wrong. He said he was wrong. And it's not the rules. I beg to differ with you, Michael. I don't think he's changing the rules. He's just making decisions. He's a CEO. He's making decisions. And he's just not going to, every decision that he makes is not going to be correct. His challenge, quite frankly, is that he keeps listening to the people instead of having an inner group, okay, that want the community, that want the network and the chain to win, 4, 5, 6 people, relying on their opinion, coming to his own conclusion, applying the principle of discernment, making a decision, and not changing it. But what he does is he makes a decision, and then he's got to get all the ears of everybody, puts it out, and he's taking in all this stuff, and then he wants, because he's trying to please everybody. Number one lesson he's got to learn is he can't please everybody. What's going on, Alex G? What's going on, bro? I could, Quantum Freedom says, and it's an interesting point, right? Quantum Freedom says, I can't imagine that Hugo did not know or think the providers will dump the flare they received before the TE. I could imagine him not even thinking about that. I could imagine him being completely wrapped up in making sure that launch worked smoothly. This dude is new. This dude, he's new to crypto and even newer to being a CEO and thinking all things through. I could imagine him easily not even think about it. I could just think that he didn't want to do it on the same day, as he felt as though that was going to be a very, very time-consuming thing. But in any case, I just don't get this whole dumping on the community thing. Who? I don't feel like I got dumped on. I went out into the market and bought Flare tokens before the TDE. I don't feel like somebody dumped on me. I don't get that mentality. Like, I don't get this whole race thing. Like David Schwartz was talking about, this race to sell. Who? People who don't want to be in the community? I don't get it. I don't get this whole race to sell thing. Legendary says, I don't understand how people are calling it dumping or rogue. As far as I understand, nobody was investing in the Flare coin before the TDE. IOUs are not the Flare coin token, right? So, in any case. So that's my thing. I just think, look, are you here for the long term or not, right? That's the way I see things for sure. So I don't feel dumped on. I don't think there's a need to sound an alarm because FTSOs got their Flare tokens, or I don't. I'm glad that they were. Me personally, I'm glad there was Flare tokens to be bought. You can't dump on. There's no one. If no one's buying it. I'm glad that there were Flare tokens to be bought. Really, me personally, right? So that's kind of how I see things. That's right. The dump, quote unquote, gave a good buy in price. It did. Indeed, it did, right? So, I mean, that's how I see it. I know a lot of you guys see Flare as this project with great potential. I'm excited about it because, again, we got an opportunity to participate in this ecosystem and seeing the project go forward. And like I say all the time, we weren't around. We didn't get a governance vote for Bitcoin, right? We didn't have our say in how the Bitcoin blockchain was going to go forward, or the Ethereum blockchain, how that was going to go forward, or the XRP ledger, as a matter of fact, and how that's going to go forward. You guys get some votes on the XRP ledger? Did you guys get your say on the Hooks Amendment? Did you get your say on that? Right, so there we are. So for me, That's kind of how I see it. In a matter of weeks, this ecosystem, this chain is going to be turned over to the community members. And I'm excited to see how we handle it and how we move forward with it. You know what I mean? I really, really am. Diego is like, I never saw so many people mad about free stuff. LOL. Oh man, that's the way I see it too, dear. If you're not coming out of pocket for a thing, I don't understand it. But people are feeling a certain kind of way, and maybe that's the problem. I say this on the channel all the time, Diego. One of the greatest benefits of this digital asset space is you can go from zero to a hero in about 120 days. And the greatest madness and issue in the digital asset space, the greatest issue, is you can go from zero to a hero in about 120 days. That's a challenge if you don't know how to handle it. That's a challenge, because you could start walking in this space expecting the good to happen. You can just start you walking in this space thinking everything is you, like you're deserving of it all. You're deserving of wins only. And if this project don't help me win, this project is crap. Right? We got to be careful. So trust but verify, right? As our guy Deep Mind says, trust but verify. So I just come from the trust space. I don't think Hugo has any nefarious intentions at all. I'm excited to see this FLR thing operate with the community in terms of governance and how it moves forward. Looking forward to the F assets, right? Looking forward to the distribution, how that's going to work. And I'm looking forward to proactively participating. And I just want you guys to think about that. Think about your opportunity to participate in a groundbreaking layer 1 blockchain. Participate, have a say in a layer 1 that I believe is going to be one of the most significant blockchains in the next 10 to 20 years. I really do believe that. They got to get it right. But I believe they launched very nice and successfully with big time decentralization. And I just see it getting better. Now a lot of it is up to the community, right? We got to increase the size of the pie here. Can't just all scrabble, for the same size pie. We got to increase the size of the pie, right? You got to think about that. Think about the evolution of the Bitcoin blockchain. It wasn't the technology, right? It wasn't the technology that caused it to win. It was what? Raoul Pal says it all the time. Network adoption. How does network adoption happen? It don't happen with people going around complaining. How does network adoption happen? And isn't that what we all want? We want network adoption, right? And that's up to us. That's really up to us. That's right, Paul. That's right, legendary. Nicholas M says, I agree with you. Delegating is great. I like the idea of wrapping and being able to delegate, right? I haven't even checked my Bifrost. It is every 3.5 days, isn't that? You're right about that, Michael. See, you can't tell everybody that a spade is a spade, and then the next day you tell them it's a shovel. You were 100% right about that, bro. Isn't this epoch? This epoch every 3.5 days? It's called the epoch, right? Somebody said it was epic. Somebody said that the epoch was epic. They call, oh my goodness, anyway. Somebody said the epoch was epic. I just couldn't help but laugh when I heard that. Like they called it, instead of epoch, they call it epic. The epic. Let's see here. Are you guys using that auto claim thing? You guys using? I'm not doing the auto claim. Are you guys using it? Okay, so unclaimed. That's not it. Oh, I like the Bifrost was pretty cool. Okay, so okay, it's called the claim bot, right? So, but that costs you like a little. All right, so oh, I like this. So it tells you how much you got from each delegator. Okay, that's nice. All right, let me see what I got. Do I have the 90-10 going? No, what? Okay, I like it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking this Bifrost wallet. These other wallets better get up on it. They better get going. Nicholas M says he's using the Decent delegate. Does that mean you're using the Decent wallet? Pastor Rick says, as long as reward percentage stays high, people eventually are going to jump on that, chasing yield, hopefully deep pockets. Yeah. So anybody using the auto thing? I think the auto thing will make sure you don't miss out on some hours, huh? So I better claim, because I'm like 2 hours behind. I'm like an hour and 30 minutes behind. Or am I just 40 minutes behind? Ani Val says, no, auto claim has a fee. That's why I didn't use it. What's going on, miss? Good to see you. Lady Crypto is checking in. Legendary says, I'm using auto, costs 4 FLR. What's going on, Property Rich? Also, Nicholas, you are using a Decent, huh? Nice. Now, Decent is software and hardware, right? Not on the phone. Am I correct about that? I feel like I should know that. All right, so I just claimed that claim automatically go to, oh, it's wrapped. So did it automatically go to my delegators? I guess so. Hardware device with phone app. Okay, thank you, Nicholas. I know that Hugo, when he speaks, he kind of speaks up slightly bit higher about Decent than the other one. Slightly. I don't want to say he's leaning one way or another, but he sounds a little bit more. It's not free when you have to pay taxes on it. What do we talk about, Michael O2? Are we talking about FLR or something else? So I guess when I claimed, it went right to the Bifrost doing some stuff. I guess when you claim it, since it is WFLR, you're claiming. It goes right to whoever I've delegated, which works for me. One less step. Okay, so I claimed. Okay. WFLR. Delegate. Yeah, love it. Love it. Love it. How are you liking the decent while with Nicholas M? Let me go over this market with you guys real quick, and I'm gonna wrap it up. This market is something. Let me refresh. Look at that. The total cryptocurrency market cap is down 1.2%, currently at 1.07 trillion, down from an all-time high of over 3 trillion. Just for the new people to the stream. Yes, right. Over 3 trillion at one time. Bitcoin dominance is at 41%. That's not great if you're looking for altcoin season. That's not a great number, 41% dominance. Bitcoin is trading at $22,880. Ethereum is trading at $1,576. And XRP is trading at 41 cents. 41 cents. 41 cents. I was listening to a very interesting interview with Crypto Lulu, I think it is, and Jimmy Val. I'll share that with you guys later today. Aptos token, what the why? 126%. Shout out to the new 1% over there at the Aptos ecosystem. I don't know anything about it. I've heard Hugo mention it, but I don't know anything about Aptos. What else we got going on? Double figure greens on Hedera is up 21%, trading at 6 cents. Hedera hash graph trading at 6 cents. VeChain, no, not VeChain. ICP is 11.9%, trading at $5.72. Filecoin up 19%, trading at $5.52, right? So double figure greens all over. But again, we are still not at our all-time high of over 3 trillion. Nicholas M., you got it going on, right, my friend? Faraday bags, love them, love them. I got a couple myself, bro. Absolutely love them. Property Rich, looking good, sees 28 in the chat and 20 likes. If you get 28 likes, if you can get, oh, we got to get the 28 likes. Okay, Property Rich says, looking good, sees 28 in the chat. And you have 20 likes. If you get 28 likes, if you can get 28 likes to the same number watching, you will push your show to the top. There it is, guys. Let's make it happen. Do me a favor, if you're hanging out and watching, do me a favor, smash that like button. We got to get the people out there, let the world know, and on YouTube that are hanging out watching cats and dogs go at each other on YouTube. We got to let them know that there's the new ecosystem, this new asset class being built right underneath their nose. Because we need them. We need them. We need the average Joe and the average Jane. We need the bank teller and the truck driver and the landscaper. We need the small business owner, right? Mom and pop shops. We need them to be part of this new 1%. So if you agree with that, do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's get to at least 28 likes like we have viewers in the stream. Quantum Freedom says he or she believes that those fees are high for that auto claim. I hear you, my friend. Michael O2, that is too funny, bro. Michael says BitBoy will be going to Hugo's house now. Oh, bro, that's wrong, bro. That's wrong, Mike. That's right. He's showing up inside the estate with the camera crew and everything, huh? Oh, that's wrong, bro. That's right, Quantum Freedom. Tell BitBoy to head over to Coinbase. That's where he needs to go. He needs to go over to Coinbase. That's where he needs to go. Oh, almost there. We got 24 likes. Property Rich. We are almost there. Let's do it. Let's make that happen. So that's some interesting stuff that I want to share with you guys. And I hope that people aren't attacking Jungle Inc. He has earned his right to express concerns in this community. You know what I mean? Big time. I'm reading some stuff here from Jesse Hines. So I read you Hugo's thing. I think that is important to kind of note that. You know, I don't know what Oz Crypto was up to, but hey, you know, Hugo welcomed the scrutiny. So Hugo welcomed the scrutiny, and I think that's important. He also said he was wrong. He said, I was wrong. I was wrong. So again, for all the Ash W's and the Jesse Hines of the world, you know, do not expect this young CEO to get everything right. It's just not going to happen. He is just not going to get everything right. He's not. He's just not going to get everything right. It's just not. Right? He's just, you know, just the way I see it. Let them grow, let them build, let them learn. And now, again, we'll be running this show in a matter of weeks. The community will be going forward with a lot of decisions and or proposals, right, going forward. And so I cannot wait. I cannot wait to be part of that. I want to see it go forward. We're going to do about it. We're going to become better than Bitcoin. What is FLR Network going to do? It's going to be interesting to see. But I know one thing: Bitcoin network adoption on the Bitcoin blockchain did not happen because of the technology. I promise you that. It wasn't the technology. It was the community. Right? It's the community. And that's us in terms of FLR. As much as I love the XRP ledger, we didn't have any say in that. We didn't have any say in that. We get a chance to help create network adoption, right? But I didn't get a vote on Hook's amendment or the paycheck system. I didn't get a say on whether or not we were going to do federated side chains. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? This is where we are. This is a blessed time to be here. I got to tell you that. I watched this interview with, I watched 90% of this interview with Jimmy Valley and Crypto Lulu. Jimmy said a couple of very interesting things. I'll probably cover that later tonight. I apologize for not being able to go live yesterday, the day before. I was really under the weather. I mean, just brutally under the weather. Feeling a little bit better today, starting to feel that fever a little bit. So I'm going to get some fluids in me and get to bed for sure. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Look at that. We got 29 likes. Property Rich. There it is. I appreciate you, Property Rich. I appreciate all that you do for the channel, my friend. Guys, thank you so much for checking in. Thank you so much for checking in, each and every one. Big Kahuna, what's good, bro? I missed you checking in, man. Good to see you. Samuel M. So Celsius is paying interest again or not yet? Interest again? No. Celsius is done. The old Celsius is done, Samuel. The FLR token airdrop was to eligible XRP holders who held their XRP on Celsius December 12th of 2020. Did I miss anyone else coming in, checking in? I didn't miss anyone. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to end this stream like I do all my streams and remind you guys that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. Have a great rest of the day, guys. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.